Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of KSI Morning Brief. To begin with, global markets. US stocks rose on Monday, reversing losses as investors focus on continued economic reopening. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.59%, the S&P 500 gained 0.65%, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite added 1.11% to set a record closing high. Moody's had warned that the stimulus measures would leave advanced economies with much higher debt than they accumulated during the last financial crisis. The market's Monday gains were not widespread. Only 4 out of the 11 S&P 500 sectors rose, with tech stocks rallying 1.6% on Monday, contributing to most of the index's upward move. Consumer discretionary stocks rose 0.8%. Shares of airlines, one of the worst hit sectors by the lockdowns to contain the spread of the virus, tumbled, with S&P 500 Airlines Index down 1.2%. American Airlines Group fell 6% as it planned to secure 3.5 billion US dollars in new financing by selling shares and convertible senior notes to boost liquidity. Looking at Europe, stocks in Europe moved between gains and losses on Monday on worries the spread of the coronavirus will force countries to limit or reverse their lockdown easing measures. The German DAX was down by 0.55%, the French CAC 40 was down by 0.61%, and the UK FTSE 100 was down by 0.76%. Goldman Sachs on Monday added 15 stocks as part of its semi-annual assessment of its European M&A basket, which has outperformed the Pan-European Stock 600 index by around 10% since its inception in 2015. The group includes stocks that Goldman analysts believe have a greater than 15% chance of acquisition based on their M&A framework. Those allocated and over 30% probability are ranked 1, and those over 15% ranked 2, providing they meet the necessary liquidity requirements. It remains heavily exposed to UK listed stocks, which account for 37% of the total holdings, followed by Germany on 11% and France on 9%. Industrials are the most represented sector, accounted for 27% of stocks in the basket. Looking at Asia, Asian stocks was set to edge up on Tuesday after oil prices rose and technology firms pushed Wall Street higher, although investors remained worried about fresh coronavirus outbreaks across the globe. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index dipped 0.54%, with shares of Chinese tech giant Alibaba dropping more than 2%. The Shanghai Composite dipped slightly to about 2,965.27 points. China kept its benchmark lending rate unchanged on Monday, with one-year loan prime rate left at 3.85%. The five-year loan prime rate was also kept steady at 4.65%. Next on global news. A survey of lenders from Mortgage News Daily found that average rates plunged below 3% for the first time ever earlier this month. The new forecast mortgage company Fannie Mae expects average 30-year mortgage rates will keep dropping to 3% by the end of this year. Thus, extremely low mortgage rate will result a high level of refinancing activity as household balance sheets and income improves. Finland's Nokia plans to cut 1,233 jobs at its French subsidiary Alcatel-Lucent International, equivalent to a third of the local workforce. Nokia employs 5,138 people in France, out of whom 3,640 work for Alcatel International. Nokia acquired the parent company of Alcatel-Lucent International 5 years ago on the condition it would keep jobs and expand its research and development teams in France. Therefore, this announcement is likely to have political repercussions within the country. During the final debate held in March, Joe Biden pledged that if he were to win the party's presidential nomination, he would choose a woman as his running mate. If Joe Biden elected, would become the oldest American president in history. He is already under pressure to make this decision due to the outsized role that black voters played in his road to the nomination. and the additional weight amid the coronavirus pandemic, which beyond its high human toll has devastated the US economy to an extent that will be felt well into the first term of the next president. Five of the women Biden is widely reported to be considering are Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, Val Demings, Michelle Lujan, and Susan Rice. Next on COVID-19 updates. The total cases worldwide had exceeded 9 million and daily cases exceeding 130,000 and recoveries are above 4.7 million and fatalities at 470,939. In Sri Lanka, the total cases are at 1,951, daily cases at 1 and recoveries at 1,526 and fatalities remaining at 11. There has been a notable name missing from the forerunners in the race to test the experimental immunization against the novel coronavirus, the world's largest vaccine maker GlaxoSmithKline, which is in 7 collaborations with institutions or firms globally, only entered the clinical trial stage with one project on Friday. Pakistan continues to register in the top 10 countries by daily coronavirus cases increasing, with 4,471 new cases on Sunday, taking the country's tally to 181,088 cases since its outbreak began in late February, according to government data. At least 89 people died in the South Asian country on Sunday, taking its death toll to 3,661. Dutch health authorities reported no new deaths overnight resulting from the pandemic for the first time since the beginning of March. Officially, the Netherlands has reported 49,658 cases of infection, with 69 people testing positive over the last 24 hours. In all, 6,090 people have died. That's it we have from today's KSI Morning Brief. Join us tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. for more updates on global markets and news.